Good morning once again. Welcome to the part 4 of the lecture video series for FRM 12 Geospatial Methods in Forestry. Now, last meeting we talked about the different applications of GIS. Now, we look into the different features of a GIS. Now, one feature of GIS consists of one or more map layers which are overlaid with each other. Each layer is associated with an attribute table. This one. So kaning maps nimo nga imong makita sa GIS, these are composed of different kinds of layer. Each layer is composed of these different attribute tables. So sa attribute table na to makita ang data. For example, makita na nimo ang name sa munisipyo, makita nimo ang pila ang hectareage, pila ang area sa munisipyo, pila ang boundary niya. We can look it all up in our data in attribute table. Now, layers have a uniform coordinate referencing system. That's very important that we know of that these different layers, different layer systems different layers must have a same coordinate referencing system in order for those maps to really overlay with each other. If different kaniyang coordinate reference system, then most probably ang imong usa nga layer ngadto na sa laing lugar, usa nga layer ngadto na sa laing lugar. That's why they must have the same coordinate referencing system. Later we will be discussing what is this coordinate referencing system. Now we have what we call also layer overlay reveals patterns. Now layer overlay reveal patterns and trends useful for spatial analysis and decision making. So kung makita nato, pag overlay na nimo sa tanan ng mga maps, makita nato nga may trend na, di ba? Like color trends. We have different colors from different municipalities. Area, topography, river systems. These are very important overlays so that we can reveal patterns and trends, which is very useful for us in making spatial analysis and decision making in whatever purpose we will be using our GIS. Data formats, we have different data formats like vectors, points, and again, different types of data. Vectors, for vector data, we have points, lines, and vectors, points. Again, we have different data formats. This is in vectors, which includes points, lines, and polygons. We also have what we call the raster formats for data, which includes imagery represented by cells or pixels. Each pixel has a value. So, nganhin ang raster yung mabutang ng mga pictures. Mag-scan ka pictures, then we geo-reference that picture so that it can become a raster data. Sugad na. So, each pixel, kung sa ka-pixel sa picture, makita niyo sa naka-square. Kanang sa square na siya color gradient that represent in isa whole picture. Examples of raster data include scan map, like this one. This is a scan map, but you cannot use this directly if naka-JPEG file siya or naka-PNG file na to sa GIS. Kailangan niyo siyang i-geo-reference so that it can be saved as TIF file para ma-load na niyo siya sa ato nga QGIS. So we have different kind of again raster data that includes scan maps, Landsat, multispectral imagery, elevation map, or the digital elevation model. This one. Kung sa Landsat, multispectral imagery, murag flat lang nimo makita ang atong map, because these are gathered by pictures of satellites from satellites orbiting our Earth. While there is an elevation map, you can see the topography of a certain location. So makita na itong lighter color. This is the highest peak of the mountainous area. This is the mountain range. And the greens are the flat ones. So what can I do with GIS? So mapping and analyzing. Yes, we do maps and analyzing. Where things or people are. The most and least number of. Density. What's inside. What's nearby. The currents of change. So stimulates exploration and discovery. Why, what, how, and when. Why, what, how? Because with GIS, with all those data, you can already map those out and analyze those data. and then you can ask these questions. You can answer these questions in order to stimulate exploration of further inquiry in that specific field. Why, what, and how. Some functions that GIS software can do, so mapping or cartography. So in the Philippine or geographic location, you can utilize that one. Vector processing, data coordinates conversion, data interoperability, data management, various connectivity, digital image and raster processing, a lot of those one. Okay, it will not be spatial statistics, but mostly our concern here is all about spatial analysis and mapping, vector processing, kaning kung ba dili na kita mo dig deeper because those are advanced parts na sa GIS. So using GIS to map where things are. For example, this one is a feature wherein you look at patterns or asa man ang imo nga asa ka naglakat ani nga specific location. Imong ginkukuha ang imong mga points. Ilakat din imo nga bukid. So kuha kang mga points here, you can already map out that using QGIS so that it will become a reference point sa imong areas of concern. Using GIS to map quantities. Again, look here at the different students enrolled in structure of English. So makita nimo nga kasi klase nga mga barangay asa ang nag-eskwela diri sa Bukso or Bukidnon State University. Ilang mga estudyante asa kasagaran. So where the most, where the least. So why is it important na mahibaro na ito? Mali ito, this application of this one is if makita nimo nga most of your students are in the far-flung areas or nasa mga lagyo ng mga lugar and the internet connectivity is very low, then so my implication na that you should also consider their setting. They don't have high speed internet connectivity and they really need to go pa from this sa mga proper areas in order to have good internet signal, di ba? That is one of the application of GIS, especially students. Population map. You can already map out this one. You can look here. The darker the color red, the more population or the more people in the area. Makita na ito nga Calbayog is very congested already. A total of 183,000 people living in Calbayog alone. Matuginaw ang pinaka-guti ay lang ang tao, 7,000 in relation to all these values. Matuginaw ang pinaka-guti tao sa Nasidibuan because these are in mountainous area na. Pagsanghan because this is in remote gihapon nga area. Diba? Talalura, Santo Niño, Almagro, Tagapula, these are islands. Population ranges. Again, Calbayog has the highest number of population. Why? Again, because Calbayog is the center here in Samar. One of the centers in Samar, aside from Catbalogan. Population density. If atong kikita ng density again, population density is the number of a population within a specific area. If atong kikita, mas darker ang color sa Catbalogan compared sa Calbayog. Why? Because ang Catbalogan, buti ay lang ang ilang land area. But the people living in that particular area is very high. That is why mas darker ang color compared sa Calbayog. Although damo ang population sa Calbayog, pero ang ilang land area is dako-dako compared sa Catbalogan. That's why it's much more, mas orange ang color niya kumpara diri sa Catbalogan. That's why it's very important gyapon that you look at density, especially in government service or if you are like politicians in your area, like your mayor, then you look at the density na because there is a problem now. If you look at density, there's if highly dense populated ang inyong location area, then the problem, what are the implications of that? There will become future problems about too much like squatter areas, matikadako ang squatter areas because there are no more lands possible for construction of their houses, diba? Population density ranges, again, mas damo ang range sa density sa Catbalogan because again, buti ay ang area plus taas ang population. Using GIS to map population density, concentration of certain features. Which feature has the greatest or least concern? Seeing the distribution feature for uniform unit. For example, this one. This is population density of Eastern Samar. Oh, no. Oh, Surigao. Surigao del Sur. Now, using QGIS to find what's inside and what's nearby. So, makita nato inside what's happening. These are the maps of all the water bodies within this particular area. Hindi ko sure kung asan is Surigao ba sa Mindanao. Makita nato this is the Cagayan River, I think. And these mga blue dots here are all inland waters, maybe lakes, rivers, and system. Mapping change over time. This is very important, especially in forestry. Makita nimo using satellite imagery or Landsat data. Ginpicture nimo sa location area using UAV or drones or the Landsat image in this one. This is taken. This is Manila. This is Manila, January 25, Metro Manila, January 25, 1989. And this is recently in April 14, 2012. Look at how the vegetation or how the land use changed from 1989 to 2012. Diba? Mas greener pa ni dire, which means daghang pang green spaces, damo pang vegetation na available din kumpara din hina because of again overpopulation, industrialization. There are more houses and commercial buildings that being constructed din hina sa Metro Manila compared atong 1989 pa. So what are the implications of this one? Again, in forestry, we have the watershed that disrupt ang iyang watershed system because ang vegetation is nagkaguti man, flooding will occur, and etc. So this is the Agusan River Basin. You know that the Agusan River Basin is famous for its Agusan Marsh. It's the largest wetland ecosystem in the Philippines. This is also in my hometown, in Sugod, Southern Leyte. We have the conservation area in Mount Nakulod Mountain Range. Here, this violet is mga high elevation areas. Storm surge pattern. This is in Calbayog City. The darker the colors, the more susceptible to storm surges is the area. More GIS application. Ano pa man, you can again map out using simple lang Google Earth. You can already map out areas. And you can already see satellite imagery using Google Earth. You can map out. Imo lang i-overlay dire ang mapa sa usa ka specific area like here in Malay-Balay Bukidnon in Pinon State University. This watershed. Again, mo na akong giingin sa inyo, this is the different kaning networks nga nakita. These are the streams and the river, the stream reach of Silway, Kalkinan stream reach. This is the headwaters. Ang mas higher na ang mas red na ang iyang color, that means that is the peak of the mountain, yung pinakataas ng elevation. So if atong nakita, this is the valley, this is two mountains. The streams emanate from these mountains and they reach dire, mag-usara na sila ng river system paggawas din sa dagat. Now this is the Sumbangda watersheds, loops, and fault lines. Again, aside from watershed system, we also look at fault lines here because fault line is very important in order for us to determine areas nga asa dapat ang possible epicenter of earthquakes, diba? Fault lines. Because of these different tectonic plates nga nagbabangga, that is the cause of earthquakes in the Philippines. Since we are naigo kita sa Pacific Ring of Fire, most of our tectonic plates are active and we experience earthquakes from time to time. So again, this will be our last slide for this lecture video. I will be uploading lecture videos for the next natong mga classes. For now, please watch this on YouTube. I will be uploading this video. Thank you. See you on our next part 4 of our part 5 of our lecture video.